Your mind right for a great day. 15 minutes or less, only on first steps. Every single morning. Look at Fred over there. He's feeling fantastic. Fred, how you feeling?
Dan?
How you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Have you already been talking? Is it 7:55 already?
It's 7:55. Are you just waking up?
How did it get here so fast? Do you have a cup?
I have a cup.
I figured.
Ooh. Wow. What's that say on there?
I think it says F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Tell me about this.
Had a group this morning. We worked out. It was a fantastic workout. We carried concrete blocks all over Barnett Park. We even had to do some of it in the rain, which I know a lot of people will skip the workouts when there's a chance. This is what we're doing this week, a chance of rain. A lot of people like to stay inside. They don't want to get wet. They're scared. They're timid. Not the guys today, man. We got after
really.
Yeah.
Really a group of tough men that are willing to get up, to push through whatever excuse they might have, and to get that workout in. That's super impressive. That really is. Those are some really cool guys.
Tell me about your morning.
Well, I wasn't able to make it to F3.
There was a chance of rain.
Well, here's the story. And this is why it's good to have a little peer pressure. Of course, we know Steamer, Stan Parker, and Stan, every evening before a F3 day, I get at least one text. What do you think it says?
Am I picking you up?
See you in the morning. And I didn't get that. He's out of town. And this morning, I just decided I did get a workout in, but I've got to tell you, after we say hello to these folks, I'll tell you what happened. Russ Hammond, good morning. And look at here. Speaking of F3, little pizza in the morning.
I will keep rocking pizza.
You know, and here's the thing. I couldn't hear not one thing that you were rocking. So that's why there was that kind of, what's going on here?
You may have a computer issue. I'm not sure. I feel like we've discussed it.
I have a feeling that somebody out there is like, for the love of all that's good and holy, please fix that computer. If you've been watching this show, Russ Hammond is thinking that he wishes that I'd fix that computer. And you know what? This is good morning, everyone, from DJ. DJ, good morning to you, my friend. So I went outside, got a little workout in. Didn't have, I've been wearing my keys around my neck. You know that. Right. And went for a little run, and halfway down the road, it started raining. I realized I didn't have enough, I didn't have hardly anything on. I had a t-shirt and shorts, and it starts raining. Now listen, hear me out. This is going to get better. And then I turned around and realized I'm cold. It's raining. I'm not with my F3 guys, and I'm locked out of my building again. Couldn't get back in my apartment.
It was 60-something degrees with a drizzle. How could you be cold, son? Well, I know why you wasn't cold, or why you were cold, because you wasn't moving enough.
Now,
and this, look, go back to Saturday.
I'm sorry y'all had to hear this. This is what I have to put up with, folks. Go ahead.
I want you to go back to Saturday, where I think you did come to the workout, and you tried to do some of the stuff. But Saturday, when we got to the coffee shop, what had you done to yourself?
I had locked my keys out of the car or out of my house.
Yes. And then are you telling me you did it again this morning?
Excuses. Y'all are giving me please. Pizza, what are you doing to me, man? Yeah. You know what? The truth is, I locked my keys out of the car. So let's just say this: I was irresponsible and I was lazy. Boom, done.
I like that better.
I was irresponsible. Who in the world is going to lock themselves out of their own home 2 times within that short of? It's ridiculous.
Quote, quote, quote of the day. Quote, quote, quote of the day.
Life is short. Smile while you still have teeth. Life is short. Smile while you still have teeth. What do you think, Fred? You think it's good to smile?
You know,
What does that say to you?
I have a problem smiling too much.
Smiling too much?
I smile too much.
Smile. You smile when they're talking serious in church and Freddie's over there smiling?
Yeah, I'm over there smiling. When people have issues with their Bobcat equipment and I'm over here smiling and they're getting mad, like, you think it's funny? I'm like, no, I don't think it's funny. I smile, okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's sometimes it's a stress reliever. That's kind of what a smile. It's like you're letting off pressure, right?
But I say that, but I get asked a lot. One, am I a highway patrolman? Or two, was I in the military? So maybe I don't smile as much as I think I do.
You've got this polarity thing going on. So sometimes in F3 and maybe out on the basketball court when you're officiating, you turn into the hard-nosed drill sergeant.
Yeah.
And then you're smiling when somebody's pissed off about their bobcat. that's a big change. But what I want to say first, David Turner, thank you for being here, getting your mind right. 15 minutes every single day. Laughter is the best medicine. It's the best medicine. If we can make ourselves laugh, if we can make others laugh, we're gonna sell more. We're gonna have better relationships. Shoot, there's a bunch of health benefits to smiling more.
Oh yeah, tell me one.
Health benefits.
Yeah.
Number one, it puts the feel good chemicals into your brain, the endorphins.
Ooh, I love endorphins.
I do too. And those are not dolphins. I love dolphins too, but endorphins are slightly different. It lowers the cortisol or the stress, whatever thing is going on in your body. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I bet Susmitha knows. Peace begins with the smile. Peace begins with a smile. And so a smile does a lot of things. A smile, your vibe attracts your tribe. A smile says, my energy is at least tempting to be positive. See that little turn up?
Yeah.
Now go ahead and say. You go ahead and say what you want to say right now. I know you don't do 180 mornings with somebody and not know what you're getting ready to say. Go ahead and say it.
No, I was just impressed that you said your vibe attracts your tribe.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I didn't expect the average dude to say something above average randomly.
Okay. So, Susmitha, great to have you here as well. But thinking about it in sales and marketing and laughing and, so many times when we're getting ready to make a serious phone call or a sales call, let's say, and I've worked in where a lot of folks on the phone, cubicle farm, everybody's making calls and everybody's essentially doing the same thing. And I sat next to a guy, and I may have told you this story before. His name was Brian, and Brian was absolutely fantastic on the phone. I'm talking, you got 100 people, and he was so much better than everyone else. And why was he better? Why do you think he was better?
That's what I was about to ask you. What were y'all trying to sell? What were y'all talking about?
this was back in the day. This was American Credit Acceptance.
Okay.
We were calling car dealerships and training them essentially on how to use the American Credit Acceptance uh, buying power, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bank and it's got all these rules and regulations. So there was a lot to it, but essentially you're calling used car dealerships for the most part.
Okay.
And so you're calling and you're trying to create a relationship over the phone. That's not always easy. And you need to have a certain kind of relationship with these folks because of the nature of how it would kind of go.
Yeah.
But Brian was great. Question. Go ahead.
Did Brian, when someone answered the phone, did Brian sound familiar? Like there's a chance that this person already knew him?
He did. That was one of the things that he did. And he would also say the things that you wouldn't think you would say. Like there's one thing, this will give you an idea of the way that Brian did. He would make people laugh and he would say things to them that they probably haven't heard before. And so I remember one time specifically, he was talking to someone, and when you're sitting next to somebody, he had a headset on, but I could hear just vaguely, and the person had a very deep voice. I could tell by what I was overhearing. I had my headset up, and he said, you sound like you smoke a lot of cigarettes. I mean, I would never ever have said that, Well, and I basically just like I got worried, like, oh my goodness, this person's going to be upset, and then you could hear her cackling on the phone, and everybody loved to talk to Brian because he knew he was a former radio DJ, and so he had that kind of that voice and that he had that way, man. But it was something, and really what I was thinking about this morning. Laughter is the best medicine. Very often on sales calls, we kind of get too serious. But if typically, if that customer is laughing, what comes next?
A yes.
Yeah, you're shaking hands. The deal is done. I mean, if we think about if we could start with the end in mind. That's what we do often. We think about how do we want everybody feeling and vibing. Man, if everybody's laughing, oh my goodness.
So let me ask you this, Danny.
Let's do
it. If you're crossing somebody on a sidewalk or the grocery store and they look like they're unhappy, they're not smiling, versus somebody that is smiling, who are you going to say hey to? How you doing? What's going on? Oh, man, you like Pop-Tarts? Me too. Who you going to talk to?
Well, we want to keep it rolling. This is what I would say to that. When our cup is full, when we feel positive, when we've done all the things and we're not faking it, it's going to overflow. Our cup will overflow. So we're going to feel good, and we might say something to that person, right? Because we feel good, but maybe not in a way of like, but who do we want to be around? Man, last night at the ball game, go Burgers. Okay. I went to the game. We won in the ninth inning. I was kind of walking around. I was out of my seat. I was getting, I'm not a sit still kind of person, long ball game. But I moved over to a spot, and sure as the world, I saw some folks walking up, and some folks that I knew. And so I was there with him, his wife, and their son was into the game. And to your point, we were all laughing and cheering just right there at the end because everybody was basically ready to leave but wanted to see what happened. That was the most fun that I'd had at a Burger game so far, for sure. Right. And shout out to Lee if you're watching, Lee. But that it was a great time, and man, I just love to see it. And the kid was into the game, and so he was jumping up and down when they won. And that is what vibe attracts your tribe. I had a smile on my face. They had a smile on their face, and it was overflowing.
Yeah. I almost accept the responsibility. If somebody is not smiling, I want to see what I can do to make them smile.
Yeah, now that can be a slippery slope. If they don't want to smile, they might. But I'm like you. I want people to smile. Something that I've gotten better at, though, I will say, as I've gotten older, I used to be. It's from doing sales. You've got a gatekeeper, and she would have not a smile on her face. And my whole thing was, okay, well, if I just come in with big energy and tidal wave her or him or whoever it is that I need to, that will get them out of it. And I have been punched in the nose enough times by the time you're 40, 48 years old that you 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 empathize. You empathize first. Like, you don't come in, I'd come in up here and they're down here. That's no good. I'd come in here and try to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you do it?
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth and cool.
Nice and smooth. Like,
let
bam!
me
That guy just made me smile. I didn't want to smile today, and that dude just made me smile.
Let me ask you something. Why do you do everything so cool and smooth, and you don't have any excuses, and you work out every morning, and I kind of just drop the ball and fumble all the time?
It took a lot of practice to get here, Danny. Right? We're almost 17 deep, man. Give us, my final thought is I want somebody, since it's raining today and the average dude already mentioned that he would do this to people, go tidal wave somebody. I don't know what it means, but go tidal wave somebody.
Tidal wave somebody. And my final thought is the sun is shining behind those clouds. And when those clouds part, the sun will still be shining. Hey, great group today. Thank you. Hope everybody has a great day. We will see you live 7:55 in the morning. Bye-bye.